Welcome back to the AI-enabled GTM. I'm very pleased today to be joined by Shadi Baqleh, the Chief Operating Officer of Deepgram. Shadi's not only an old friend, but he's an operator, a builder, and foremost, a leader. With over 20 years of experience in SaaS, infrastructure as a service, and AI-driven platforms, Shadi has seen every aspect of the operation and managed it, and scaled numerous companies through extraordinary growth and outcomes. And he also serves as an advisor to several AI companies. So Shadi, I'm honored to have you as my guest today. Welcome.
Thank you, Stu. It's always wonderful to see you. I super appreciate being here with you. And it's great to connect again.
Believe me, it's my pleasure. Okay, so got a request for all of you people out there. Before we dive in, between Shadi and I, I'm sure we've got over 10,000 friends on LinkedIn and the other socials. So this channel's in its infancy and we need your help to grow it. Hit the subscribe button, like the video, which I'm sure you will. It's easy, free, and really helps us out. And if you have that magic aha moment at any time during the show, please let us know in the comments, because it turns out that the algorithm really likes comments. So make sure you do that. Now, without further ado, Shadi, you've had an amazing career and have positively impacted so many organizations and people. What are you up to now?
Thanks, Stu. I am the COO for a company called Deepgram. We're a voice AI company. I run our go-to-market and field teams. I've been here for almost 6 years, and we are helping our customers and our partners build next-generation voice AI products. So think of a voice agent. We power the speech-to-text, the text-to-speech, and we do some of the orchestration. And we do that direct as a company, and we do that with amazing partners as well.
That's great. So what kind of changes are you seeing? I mean, how has this Gen AI and agentic AI changed the landscape of GTM?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the biggest piece of change is by far speed. Like, it's the speed at which everything is moving. So a lot of the things that we're doing in AI from a GTM point of view, sure, we would do them in the past, but what would take, for example, 2 hours now takes 2 minutes or 5 minutes, right? What we would be able to do, 10 things in a day for certain things, now we can do 100. And I'll get into some examples of what that looks like.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Tell me about some of the initiatives that you've got going on right now at Deepgram, right? And like, what problems are you trying to solve for, and what kind of results are you seeing?
Yeah, maybe I'll take a step back and just kind of talk about what we're doing as a company. So, we ran very lean for a long time as an organization, and we were able to do that by AI enabling. You're going to hear some of these cliche buzzwords, but really they're true. And we'll talk about what it actually means and where the successes are. But really AI enabling our entire workforce. So much so that now when we hire, and we have been for the last, say, like the last 3 to 6 months, we are making it mandatory as part of our recruitment. So basically we will ask all roles that we fill, not just GTM, but let's just in the GTM world. Hey, show me how you use AI to prospect. Show me how you use AI for customer communications. Show me, and they have to pass that, right? Because we're looking for that efficiency. You've heard things in the market where, the classic SaaS example would be, let's just say again, to keep it constrained to GTM. From a sales efficacy point of view, you hire someone and roughly their quota is about 4 to 5x of what you would pay them would be their quota. You hire a rep for 250, you pay them, their quota is $1 million. Right now we are at 10x as a company.
Whoa.
And growing very, very fast. And we expect that to be about 20x in the next few months. And that's, again, the nature of our product, what we're doing, but basically doing so much more with AI.
Yeah, that's absolutely astounding. I mean, I love asking that question. What outcomes have you seen? And then somebody tells me, hey, we've gone from 4 to 10, maybe to 20. That is absolutely fascinating. So are you seeing any kind of barriers to making all this happen in your organization?
I mean, there's definitely I don't want to say it's a culture issue where people are resistant. I think everyone's on board. But there's degrees of how much people will lean in, just like anything else.
Right.
But yeah, I think once they realize how simple, straightforward it is, and there's different parts of the curve. So, like for example, I've got some reps and leaders who are doing, let's just call it level 3 out of 10, right? And it's good, and they're on that journey. And then I see some reps and leaders that are showing me what they've built and how it's helping our team, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. So, yeah, and how it diffuses into the organization. I'll give you a real example.
Yeah,
So yes,
tell me about
we're,
that.
yeah, so like we're a voice AI company, right? We dog food our own tools. Our SDR leader built a voice agent to basically train reps when they come on board to go through mock scenarios. We prompt, here's what the customer would say or the prospect would say, right? And we kind of use our own tool, and they experience it, and they have to go through it and get certified. And all of a sudden, what used to take us, hours and hours of mock trials, each person can do on their own in real time within minutes, and we can change it up like
Like
snap of
that.
the finger, just like that. And so we roll out a new feature, a new function, a new product, whatever it may be, we can train and onboard the teams, like, I don't want to say instantly, but at 10 times the speed of what we used to be able to do.
So you said something I think that's really interesting to me. You said they built this. Does that mean you're not actually using like commercial off the shelf software to, because, I've seen it. Obviously, there's like
Yeah.
1,000 apps out there, right? And some of them are focused on coaching the rep and training the rep and so on. But are you using commercial stuff, or are you building this from scratch?
It's a great question, and I get this all the time. Uh, it's both. It's
Okay.
both, but I think the trend line is pointing more towards building ourselves.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, we are classic, GTM shop. We've used the sales recording tools that give you the transcript and give you sales coaching, and they're all great. To be clear, they're all serve a function. I'm a huge believer in all of those tools, but now we build our own, right, for some of those. And we can do some really unique things like our VP of sales the other day. We're talking about, we've rolled out a second product. We're going big with it. And he wants to know more detail. Like when is the team positioning it? What are they saying about it? What are the customers? So he took all our recordings, ran it through Claude, right? Prompted it. And I think out of 50 recordings said, okay, now give me the stats. Here's when we're positioning it. Here's what most reps are saying. Here's where the hiccups are. Here's where the successes are. And now, what would have taken us, God knows how long, he did probably in 15 minutes, 20 minutes, right? And now we have instant real time data that we can that's actionable for the teams.
And it's actionable in your market to your customers. I think that's what's so exciting about this, right? It's like you're training your own large language model or creating an expert language model
Absolutely.
by using this stuff yourself. And like you said, the VP of sales analyzes it all, prompts it, and you've got your answers, and it is for you, not some generic off the shelf software that thinks, oh, I should sell using MedPick. Sorry, not to pick on MedPick, but you know,
Well, I'll give
yeah,
you one more example. We hired an amazing customer success operations individual. In the interview, we were looking at off the shelf software.
right.
It was roughly 100K a year, something CS, dashboarding, all the insights, the triggers, all
Yeah.
those things. She showed up to the interview and basically said, oh, we talked about this with others. I built it for you. Let me just show it to you now. She used a bunch of dummy data, right? But I was like, wow, the 30 or 40% that we needed from that tool, she
Yeah.
just built on her own. And now we deployed it in production, and now we use it as a sales team and a CS
Yeah.
team.
And she's not a developer, right?
And that's the key, right? Is she's not a developer. What typically would have been, very, let's call it tech heavy type of mindset and individuals and skill sets. Uh, I don't want to say anymore, oh, he's just a salesperson or she's just a CS. That you have to throw out the window now. It's like everybody's a builder, right? It doesn't matter who you are, what your profile is, what your background is. Everyone's a builder.
Wow. I'm going to quote that. I love it. Everyone's a builder. So, that basically also removes some other potential hurdles that you find in organizations when you have to try to get, IT or engineering aligned with what you want to do as either like you as a chief operating officer or a go-to-market leader, you don't have to worry about having to get them aligned anymore because you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the very cool part of this is I'll come back to the culture.
Yes.
Um, when you're, at the highest level, when you're CEO, your CTO, when you're technical leaders, it doesn't matter, are pushing this, right? It just makes everything easier. So you do need that executive buy-in and you do need that cultural support. Then it gives everyone license or permission,
Yep.
right? And then
Right.
you encourage it and then you highlight it, right? So
Ah,
like
got it.
I have a town hall meeting after this. Um, and yeah, we will highlight the successes of people who built certain, certain AI tools in their process for whatever it may be. Like we
Right.
want to reward that.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, they have permission to do it because the executives have already gotten behind it and people can see that.
Yeah. And
Right.
and it's very, again, some of this stuff is very cliche to say, but it really is true. Like when you say the word disruptive, yeah, that word gets thrown around. But like I look at our contracts. Okay, we do a lot of B2B contracts with customers. Of course, they have legal changes. We have amazing legal counsel here, but we have a lot of contracts.
Yeah.
And so we built an AI tool, very simple, to
Right.
like scan contracts when customers have issues, right? And then based on that, we route accordingly, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So just this simple tool, say, oh, this is an enterprise. This is the heavy, red lines. Send it this way. Or no, this is pretty basic. We can handle it, through a different channel. Great, handle it this way. Frees up time.
Yeah.
Moves things along quicker. You don't
Yep.
have to follow up constantly with your legal person. Where's my like? Things are just they move quicker.
Yeah. Yeah. It's dramatic changes in just short couple of years, dramatic changes. So you probably see other organizations out there, trying to adopt AI technology. What advice would you give them as far as what should they do more of or less of to achieve better returns or outcomes?
Start small.
Okay.
I think in general, it can be overwhelming. People are talking about AI. People are talking about what you can build, but just start small. Run a workshop. We've
Okay.
done that internally. I think that is super helpful. You you've got an interesting moment in time right now where you've got a generation in the workforce that's very open and consumes technology, understands it very well. This is not a far reach for them. You've got a different generation in the workforce where all of this could be overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
And both 2, 3 generations are in the workforce right now. So you got to demystify it, right? So first off is like demystifying what it is. 2 is showing examples of what's possible. And then 3 is let me walk you through how to build certain things. And then the natural inquisitiveness, right, of individuals will rise and they'll start building and failing. And that's okay,
Yeah.
right? And building and scaling and seeing success and then iterating, right? Um, I'm a perfect example of that, right? I use, I think what Chat GPT for a lot of things.
Yes.
Now I'm using Claude to go into, you know, rep data and try to understand like what does rep behavior look like from new deals, upsells, how many
Right.
logos, time they spent with an existing customer. It just gives me more intelligence, but it's just starting with small building blocks
Yeah.
and then iterating.
Yeah, I can absolutely relate because I am in that generation that sometimes, is more resistant to these kind of tools. And maybe maybe it's because I'm a bit of a techie and an early adopter and all that, but I did the same thing. I just jumped in and started using it and started realizing, hold it, this is a lot easier than I expected it was going to be and it's
Exactly.
a lot more powerful than I expected it was going to be, right? And
Exactly.
so yeah, it's much easier I think to get our generation's on side than it is with other tools. And you look at regular SaaS adoption, and it's just an absolute pain. Nobody wants to do it, right? But this AI, Gen AI, and agentic AI seems to be taking on a new life.
Yeah. And I have just a quick philosophy on that. I think
Yeah,
one of the main reasons is people, generally speaking, people like to build.
right.
And then when you do build, of course, by its nature, it's personal. You're
It's
building for
mine.
what you want. It's
It's
mine. There's
mine.
ownership. So when you build and there's ownership, right? There's pride, right? And
Right.
then there's pride, and then you want to like continuously make it better. as opposed to I'm consuming something somebody built that does 50% of what I want, and I'm going to complain about the 50% of the things that it doesn't do. So there is a mindset too.
Yeah, I love that. It's absolutely true. All right, let's look to the future. I want to respect your time. We're
Yeah,
kind of
no problem.
in here, so we'll wrap up here shortly. But um, looking to the future and even going beyond where you are today, where do you think the most significant opportunity is for the application of Gen AI and agentic AI?
Yeah, I really and I hope this answers your question. Um, I don't see AI as this destructive force in the market, and I mean this very, very
I love that.
sincerely. I have this debate with friends, family, colleagues all the time. Like, let's be clear, AI will absolutely replace some jobs. There's
Yes.
no doubt about that. Okay,
Yes.
so just take that off the table. I fully believe that, but at the same time, I think two things. I think AI will enable a whole new set of jobs that we either don't exist today, right?
Right.
Or we're on the precipice of building over the next, 5, 10 years. And I really do believe that. And the second thing is, I really do believe that AI will make the current jobs that we have better,
Yes.
more efficient, more pleasurable, right? Remove a lot of the repetitive tasks of, there's a
Oh,
reason we
so
call
much.
it work. There's a reason we call it work, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and so if you can remove the 20%, whatever percentage of, let's call it pain that you're constantly experiencing at work and remove those repetitive tasks and automate them,
Yeah.
right? Then I
Totally.
think you make people more efficient, they're happier, they get more work done. Um, and so I think that, and again, I do believe that. I don't think we've cracked the code on that yet. I still think by industry, by role, by function, we still have to figure what those things are, but we're already seeing the signs of it, right?
Yeah.
We're already
We are.
seeing early signs of what AI can do to make your job better. And so, there's the saying that like AI won't replace your job, but if you don't embrace it, and use it as part of your job, then over time you will. That I do believe. So I think the people that really do focus on, hey, how do I use AI in my job, are really intellectually curious, start to use it, become more efficient. It just creates a virtuous cycle of productivity. Other people see it in the workforce. People start talking about it in media. And then I think you get like this 20 to 80% bump in efficiency. So yeah, I'm
Right.
actually very excited by it.
Yeah. Oh, this is excellent. Shadi, absolutely fantastic. Super fascinating. Love your insights. Everyone's a builder. It's going in my comments. That's for sure. So thank you very much again. It was super fascinating. For all of you out there, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. As I said earlier, it really helps us out, and I greatly appreciate it. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, just reach out to me directly on LinkedIn. The link is below in the description. So DM me and let me know you'd like to be a guest. So Shadi, once again, thank you.
Thank you, Stu. I appreciate it and hope to be back on the show soon.
Okay, great. You will be. So until next time, everyone, be safe, be well, and know that you are appreciated.